Welcome back to the channel, all about life skilling. My name is Teddy, and because no one has really mentioned the whole life skilling topic when it comes to the state of the game, we're going to go down just how Black Desert is with the whole life skilling, just if it's going to be worth doing, and if you guys should even start playing the game if you guys are looking into gathering and crafting. If you guys enjoyed Black Desert content, be sure to check out my channel, subscribe, turn on all those notifications, leave a like, comment, all that good stuff that I'm supposed to tell you, and without wasting any more time, let's just jump into it, shall we? When scrolling down YouTube, Reddit, or the forums, it's very apparent just how many issues are very glaring when it comes to Black Desert. I'm not going to say this has any reflection on JJ leaving, because we all know JJ was just the NA CEO. She was basically the head of the content creators, you know, trying to make the game more appealing for other players to jump in. But when it came to the actual decisions that were made, we all know Big Papa J has all control of it. With that being said, this is not going to be a video solely about crying or complaining. I'm not going to try to tell you guys to quit the game or do a boycott or anything of the such. I personally would love to see Pearl Abyss change the direction and start to focus on going back to the original vision for Black Desert. They claimed it used to be a unique game and they weren't trying to copy any other game. They were doing their own thing, but more and more, it's starting to feel like another game. I enjoyed Black Desert. It was a fun 8 years, and now it really does feel like there is a lifespan on Black Desert. And sure, I know everyone used to say, oh, Black Desert's dead. It was gonna die on arrival because it was real pay to win and everything. We're still here, we haven't died, but now it really does feel like we're dying. And I know I have a lot of you thinking, oh yeah, sure, life skills have always been dying, which is true, but now that the whole entire game feels like it's dying, it's been 2 months since I've talked about life skilling, so it's time we go back and take another look. No one ever mentions life skills, it's always just PvP or PVE. So after all of the quality of life changes and all of the forum feedback posts that you guys have voted on, Pearl Abyss has heard and has been removing more and more incentive to go out there and life skill. Mastery is currently sitting very broken with being able to hit 2k mastery without even having to use pen Manos, which means Manos is still a meme item to get. You do it for the lulz. Now, it's not just us veterans that have to suffer, it's also the newer player. Imagine you just started the game, you started working on your mastery, you bought all of your gear, or you struggled to tap it up. Imagine you did all of that just for harpooning to find out you don't get anything after +3, making anything past 1200 mastery null and void. Fishing, on the other hand, that's a little bit different with having the prize catch fish rate being increased. But when you're out there fishing, you don't really notice the difference. They could buff this so that you catch more prize grade fish if you have more mastery, making mastery more meaningful, but it's been years since they went ahead and nerfed fishing in general. We have our brackets like skilled, beginner, professional, mastery, but once you hit G51 to G100, doesn't have any rewards. And I know that they said that they will work out future rewards and all, but it's been several months to almost a full year since I mentioned it, and we haven't gotten any type of reward for going past G51. So that makes life skilling kind of redundant. Sure, yeah, we have a ranking system, but that really doesn't mean much when there is no real incentive to go past G51. It's not like that medal above our head really stands for anything with everyone that's quitting. Now, I know a lot of you guys will be down in the comment section below talking about how this year Jay was focusing on simplifying all the items, but with all those item simplifications came the values of all of the materials dropping. Much like over there on EU, a lot of our materials don't really value much. This makes a lot of our crafting recipes null and void. There's really no reason to make them, and if you do, you're wasting your money, your time, and the materials. At this point, I would suggest just selling the materials flat out on the central market, but with how much the supply is on the central market, there's really no reason to be posting up anything. You can just keep them and hoard them. Which then bleeds over into just how you can get the gear. As a veteran player, you've probably done mob grinding, you have a lot of money there together already, but for a newer player, that could be harder with not being able to make as much money with life skilling, which results in the player having to go out and mob grind, making you not life skill in general. Then we could talk about trading. Active trading was removed, which still has not been entered back into the game. We have no word on it. And as a little band-aid, when Land of the Morning Light Part 2 comes out, we're getting palace management. They've completely ignored active trading and decided to give us a whole new version of trading with the palace management. We all know this is going to make it more AFK, so all you have to do is transport the goods from the palace all the way out to Balanos, but still, no active trading. It's kind of sad that they removed active to give us more of an AFK type of life skill, but with how the state of the game is, it seems like they're moving more towards the type of game where you're only doing mob grinding. Now, when it comes to the materials that can be gathered over there in the new Land of the Morning Light Part 2, I have a feeling it's going to be just like the first part, where the materials can be more effectively gathered on the mainland, disallowing any real motivation to go out and gather on the island. If anything, the second half might just be more of an AFK focus onto the game. Jay did mention that they are working on getting a new trader ship to help out trading after they remove the active trading, which they still have not added this so-called Etheria trader to the game. We can see it on the rock salt ingot tooltip, and we can also see it in the BDO Codex database, but yet it is still not added into the game, which I think is going to be coming for the palace management. But is it going to be too late for that now? I would ask Korea to go ahead and comment down below if you guys have gotten it, but I'm pretty sure you guys haven't even gotten the new trader ship either, which is kind of ridiculous considering Korea is used as the test bed for every new update that we get. With all the lack of material value, this leaves a handful of activities that will still make you at least a little bit of money. Horse training is okay, but with them giving out the free dreams, it kind of really ruined a lot of people's journey to get their first dream. And giving out that second dream kind of killed that whole mythic journey. Now we can just go ahead and smash the two that we chose together for a free mythic. Harpoon fishing is in the worst state that it could possibly be in. Obviously, with it being included with fishing. Processing, you kind of lose out a lot of money when processing down the materials because, again, the material value is kind of low. There are materials that you can do. Don't let me tell you that all of the materials are kind of valued lower. There are some. You'll just have to check out bdolytics.com to see which ones are still worth doing. Alchemy, we all know, got nerfed, or it's not even valuable to go and make any of the elixirs. It's just something that you do when you personally need your elixirs when you're out there grinding. Cooking is a complete travesty with them nerfing it back in the day, and yeah, I know that the Imperial crates will make a lot of money, but let's really think about it. Is the money that you make for the Imperial cooking crates really that worth it, especially compared to mob grinding? Sailing is a complete joke, even with them raising up the rates around Balanos Island and Morgoria. And obviously, bartering, you have to have the character really do bartering. Anything other than that is a chore, and it's kind of very, very annoying. Even with them decrease the amount of materials needed to craft up your Etheria sailboat or the frigate. And then we have hunting. I think hunting is the only one that has not gotten any type of nerfs. So far, hunting does feel pretty good and will probably be the only type of life skill that will make you money, which is really, really sad. I don't want to have to resort to only doing one type of life skill to make money or just resort to mob grinding. As for fishing, fishing still has no love. Fishing is still broken. Fishing is still nerfed. Fishing will still not make you as much money as mob grinding or just logging in after not being online for several months. Gotta love those returning adventurer bonuses, right? Let's be real. When it comes to life skilling, you kind of have to have the immersion, the incentive to go out and continue gathering, continue building up your gear or anything of the such. Without it, you're really not wanting to do your gathering and your crafting. Black Desert used to have a unique feel when it came to gathering and crafting, just the whole variety of life skills, the different activities that you could do, and just the overall feeling like you were living in a fantasy world. Over the years, that vision has been lost with just focusing more and more on mob grinding zones, anything to do with combat, and life skilling has been phased out. When it comes to the overall feel of Black Desert, it's lost it. No one's logging in to turn in their Imperials anymore. A lot of people are logging in, getting their login bonus, logging out. If there's an event, they'll log in for the event and log out, and a lot of people are just quitting the game. Now, I don't mean the newer players. The newer players are relatively enjoying the early game to mid game grind with their life skilling. It's not until you finally start hitting that 2K bracket and you're realizing that you can make more money with your mob grinding that you start to lose interest in your life skill. And I'm not saying that's everyone. It's just Prolibus is designing their game to be that way. The market is getting way too saturated with way too many materials from everyone quitting, dumping all their goods. A lot more of our life skilling gear is being posted with everyone quitting, and just the overall population, you can see the difference. When it comes to an MMO, the less population you have, the less people that you can play with, you're not going to be able to do all those fun activities. A single player game, it's not going to be really that bad with the popularity going straight down after a week you're playing. But with an MMO, you have to rely solely on those players. And without the players, gathering and crafting is just not really fun. I mean, who are you gathering for? Who are you going to craft for? I mean, other than doing it for yourself, there's really no incentive. The life skilling events that they normally give out are pretty lackluster. I played several games where not only has there been several events geared towards life skilling, but there has been group life skilling activities that you could partake in. Several. It seems like in Black Desert, Prolibus just decided to haphazardly include life skilling in your mob grinding event. And I think what doesn't help with the events is the fact that they give out several event items for increasing our mastery, allowing us to hit that 2K mastery without having to enhance any of our gear further than, say, Tri Manos or Tet Manos. Maybe instead of giving out all of these mastery buff items, they should just focus on either allowing us to actually make money with life skilling or giving us more materials to do our enhancing. It only took them 8 years to go and get us enhancing material box for life skilling, I might add. Killing the mobs and getting the seals would be great, but when I can do the same thing AFK fishing, it really doesn't help out with the population. And that moves into the whole subject of Prolibus making Black Desert more of an AFK type of game. I get it. If you have players that are AFKing in your game, it makes your numbers seem like there are more active players than there really are. But come on, are they really active players when they're sitting around Velia Beach just AFK fishing, or whenever you want to post another AFK fishing event? It's not really active play when you can just minimize your game and walk away. Life skilling is in a weird spot. There's no reason to go out and get gear, and now there's no reason to even bother playing the game. And I mean, come on, we can't talk about anything life skilling without mentioning all of the Pearl Shop items. Unfortunately, unlike with mob grinding and PvP, life skilling still requires you to buy all 3 of the subs. I know most games have 1 sub, but that will run you around $40 USD each month. We're not talking about $15 or $10, nothing like that. No, we are talking about $40, a price of a brand new game we're paying for a sub. If you want to be comfortable while life skilling, you could do all of this game free to play. You don't have to bother putting in any type of money for pearls to get any of your life skilling costumes, pets, or anything life skilling related, but you are getting less materials than others. Your central market sales tax, the different slots that you do unlock for having your value pack, your Kama's blessing, and the secret book of the old moon. Just keep that in mind. You will be at a severe disadvantage if you are not wanting to spend the money. If you want to do mob grinding or PvP, don't worry. They'll give you free pearl items every month and during events, so you should be able to gear up and get ready within the first week or month of playing. Life skilling is still forced to spend as much money as you possibly can. Now, I'm not going to say that Black Desert is dead. Obviously, the servers are still online. We can still play the game. It's just Black Desert is in a very, very weird state. No, they are not going to listen to us. No, you can post up on the feedback forum and nothing will be done. It's already been proven. We've already talked about it. Every content creator for Black Desert has mentioned this time and time again. I understand this. It's just with the way everything is going, life skilling is kind of not in a good place for Black Desert. I enjoyed life skilling. I enjoyed just having another thing to do other than mob grinding or dungeons, raids, everything that you would do in a normal MMO. Black Desert was unique. It had a nice little spin on things. It made you really feel like you were living in the world. Now it feels like a watered down wannabe Maple Story without the success of Maple Story. Let me know if this is a bad take. If you guys don't agree with me, I'm curious. I want to know down in the comments below. If you guys do agree with me, let me know too. Leave a like, all that good stuff that I'm required to tell you. And if you guys do enjoy the game, keep an eye out on the population. Make sure your server is at least a little active to be able to do something. The guild you're in is active. Try to enjoy it as best as you can. The game will still be here. The game will always be here. Nothing will kill it other than Prolibus killing their own game, which, I mean, come on, Crimson Desert is coming out, which is probably going to be better than Black Desert, but the game is still here. Enjoy it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Keep gathering out there, everyone.